we had hoped, honestly, with all the noises we made about the composition of IEBC, that they would come out and try to prove us wrong. We had raised issues about the process of getting the IEBC commissioners, clearly. And we had said, this is a dead damn thing, last minute thing, and brought in somebody like Noel. We knew a dead dams come after an afterthought. I mean, we know. But we said, we are not going to go to court. We are going to contest because of timelines. But we just hoped, the moment you pick the Bible, Dennis, you shift your allegiance to the person who recommended your name to serve the country and the constitution of Kenya. That was our hope. Like what happened with Akina Chebukati and others. Of course, that is subject to another discussion. We had hoped somehow you not be so obvious that you are moving to this direction. Why am I saying that? Look at what happens. Immediately, my party leader signals off the issue of the vice chair of IEBC. I mean, going to meet the governor of Magarini. The other issue we saw here, we have been trying to tell us who is running. And by the way, we have done our investigations. The person who is in the register is Leonard Minjeru. The person who comes to vote nomination papers is another name. So be asking, please tell us from the word go. Why she's talking about what you're talking about processes is that people cannot complain that somebody has run away with ballot because we did it. Then you continue to count.
You did what? You ran away with ballot?
Yes, you know, the people who ran away with it, we complained about it.
Okay.
But they went ahead to announce the winner. We'll be asking, how do you go about this? So personally, I'm very worried. But let me tell you this. Why we want to take Mbeere North, for example, as an example, and Marava. We have asked our partners, Eugene Wamalwa, and the team that was in Western, to also go to court. Because, I mean, you can't come vandalize. Beat up the candidate, said Panyako, literally harass someone. All that violence must be accounted for. So we are saying now, the IEBC must come in. So, back to Mbeere, we are saying, just to answer your question, we want Mbeere to be an example. To tell IEBC how not to run elections. And to see whether the kind of pronouncements that are going to be done by the High Court, by the courts and all that, whether they are going to help this country to tighten our systems. That's why we said, okay, hold on a minute, no much talk, let's go down now, let's go Rico. Because political is not possible, just to go and make sure that IEBC does their work. So yes, there were so many gaps that we saw, enough gaps, by the way. We have like 5 to 10 questions IEBC has to answer in a court of law, slowly, no pressure, no hurry. By the way, the court allows us, the law allows us 28 days to file a petition. So we are doing it silently. We are waiting for the court of law to be gazetted. Then we are going to move there. But I want to say this. You could see also the desperation by which the government wanted those seats. By hook or crook, desperation itself. Like we must win. What for? Let me ask you, if you come and bango and steal parliamentary seats, the sound of the people at the MCA level, that's where you want to test where people...
And UDA did not win in Malava. Hiyo anajua. We have evidence kwamba yeye mwenyewe alipiga simu kwa OCS kwa kituo kimoja na kingine in Mbeere, akasema ni lazima yule mtu sijui Mudhende lazima ashinde.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, that is a video clip of one Dr. Peter Mbae explaining what actually happened in Mbeere North and the steps that the United Opposition is currently taking towards making sure that the IEBC is accountable for the crimes that were committed against the people of Mbeere North and against the people of Malava constituency in the recently concluded by-election. Now, the key points that I've taken here, and also, apart from speaking about the key points, allow me to speak about also the video clip that has followed. Is a video clip of one Kalonzo Musyoka, Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka, the party leader of Wiper Front Party, Wiper Democratic Front Party, which is also speaking about some certain evidences that they have of President William Ruto calling the OCS of Mbeere North to ensure that the candidate of the government wins the by-elections that took place. Now, getting back to the issue of Peter Mbae, Dr. Peter Mbae tells us that on the day of the elections, when the votes started being counted, some individuals who are paid and hired by the government ran away with ballot papers. And that, according to the rules of the IEBC, is one malpractice that can actually lead to the cancellation of the counting of votes and declaring that election null and void. Because the moment ballot papers have been taken out of a polling station, that is the actual declaration of a malpractice in an election. Because, they steal the votes, run with the votes, knowing that in those votes, the people that they don't want to win are the ones that are leading in numbers of the votes that were there. Ladies and gentlemen, I have said this once and again, and I will repeat it, that the elections of Bereno and the elections of Malava constituency, if they are taken normally, they will treat us normally. It is a sentiment that Raila Amolo Odinga used, and most of Raila Amolo Odinga's allies used, to inform us that if we all allow the Iebc to become compromised to a point that it does not answer to the people of the Republic of Kenya, that it answers to the president, that is the moment we have actually lost it as a country. That is the moment that we have lost the integrity of the independent body that is supposed to supervise our elections. Instead of actually nullifying the elections of Bere North and Malava constituency, the moment the acts of violence and the acts that were displayed and actually recorded on the events that were recorded, the moment they take place, the Iebc is supposed to actually declare that elections null and void. They should actually declare a rerun. But what did the Iebc do, even after noticing that the said acts were happening and things were not going as per the expectations of the people? They went ahead to continue with the tallying. Some of the polling stations in these by-elections were taken over by Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku with goons. He came with goons, over 300 of them, carrying machetes and rungus, and they took over polling stations. Now, the moment that the Iebc receives that intel, the moment that they are informed of such incidences happening and taking place, the action for them to take to actually vindicate themselves as culprits in this matter of election malpractice is by declaring that election null and void, is by taking the step of actually declaring a rerun, to avoid even battle confrontations, to avoid that Iebc, which is a new Iebc, by the way. This was their first test. And if they have failed in this test, then the people of the Republic of Kenya have lost their trust in this Iebc. The moment the Iebc allows itself to become a tool of the state, that is the moment it has actually put a country in jeopardy. It has put the integrity of a republic in jeopardy. Because William Ruto is the president. Cabinet secretaries are, according to the Constitution of Kenya, they are not supposed to hold party leadership roles. They are not supposed to involve themselves with the politics of the day. Their actual role is to actually execute the mandates of the executive. That is delivering to the people according to the dockets that they were appointed in. But now, Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku and the Cabinet Secretary of Housing, Alice Wahome, they were in Bere North, joining hands with the government goons, mobilizing, taking over polling stations. In Malava constituency, goons hired and sanctioned by the State House controller, because we call him the State House controller, and also the president's PA, that is Farouk Kibet, was leading a contingent of people that were brought in Malava constituency from Nairobi, from Githurai, Roysambu, Lakisama, Kibera. they were brought there, their intention was to scare our voters, to also lead in actually rigging the election that was going on, to make sure that the people's rights are not listened or adhered to. Are we together? Now that actually puts the whole institution of the IEBC in jeopardy. Allow me to tell you this. Erastus Edang Ethekon is a man that should be answerable to the people of the Republic of Kenya, not to the president. Even before the elections were to take place, intelligence had been relayed to the United Opposition Principles that the plans were to cause chaos, to make sure that people don't turn out for voting, and also they were informed that already voting papers had been marked in favor of the candidate of the government. But what did the IEBC do? All they did was declare that as rumors and something that cannot be substantiated. Yet during the election day, cars were caught by citizens ferrying already stuffed up ballot papers to the polling stations. And these actions were recorded. They were added over to the police. But the police also are accomplices in this matter. Because as Kalonzo tells us, the president made a call to the OCS to ensure that the candidate of the government is declared the winner. All these accounts are accounts that actually tell us we cannot trust the current IEBC. Now, the matter has been taken to court. If our court or our judicial system is compromised, as the institution of the police is compromised, as the institution of the Independent Electoral Boundaries Commission is compromised, then how should we believe that the people of this republic will receive their justice? That the people of this republic will, their will be heard? That the government candidates who were put in place, they were rigged to become the winners, they are going to be vindicated. They are going to the election is going to be nullified. How can we believe that? Ladies and gentlemen, it's our time. And I have said these ones and again. We saw the acts of violence, the voter rigging that was displayed in this by-election. And if this thing is not taken seriously, it will come to plug this country into chaos. And if this country is plugged into chaos, the people that are going to face the wrath of the law is the IEBC commissioners and the IEBC chairperson. So it's high time they tell the people, are they serving the interest of the people or are they serving the interest of the government? We have seen this happen before. We saw Samuel Kivoito declare Kibaki in the middle of the night as a winner of the election, and they saw him in the middle of the night. We have seen the same happen with Chebukati. Chebukati took the step of declaring William Ruto as the presidential election winner, yet 4 IEBC commissioners, the Cherera 4, declined to support his declaration. They said that William Ruto had not won. They said Raila Amolo Odinga had won. But Chebukati, as the IEBC commissioner, took the step of announcing William Ruto as the presidential winner. And they refused actually to allow the court to access the IEBC servers until date. So if that is the same card that is being displayed in these by-elections that actually took place, how can we believe that in 2027 this country is going to serve the people? Ladies and gentlemen, what's up? I would love to hear your comments in regards to this matter. Leave a comment in the comment section. Don't you forget to subscribe. This is the Kenyan Daily Report. And remember, lawyers from the United Opposition have gathered intel. They have currently filed an appeal, and the appeal is supposed to see the light of the day so that the IEBC can be answerable for the election malpractice that took place on the 27th of November 2025. Leave a comment on the comment section.